What is up, YouTube? It's your boy, Motovlogic. It must be the Motopocalypse. Hell has frozen over. I don't know, maybe winter just headed for hell. Like, it has been the longest winter ever. The longest. It is so nice to finally have some warm weather again. It's been far too long. And even though we ride, you know, most of my friends, we ride straight through the winter. You know, you can never tell with some of these cops around here. Like, some will come after you, some want to talk to you. Like, why are you recording? Why you got that camera in that precarious position right over your mirror? So today we have the good fortune to be going to take a look at a 2007 Kawasaki Ninja 6R. Let's say we need a big boy toy because we've had this little toy for quite a while, and I love my 300. My 300 is amazing. You know, I've had this bike since I started riding, and although my first bike was a 2004 Shadow, which some of you were aware, some of you weren't. There's a buried vlog somewhere on my Shadow early in my YouTube ramblings that will never make it to the light of day. I don't know, maybe one day. But I loved my Shadow. My Shadow was great. My Shadow tried to kill me twice. And then I got this. I got this Ninja 300 2014. It's been everything to me. I've had so much fun on Blood Mountain on this bike. I have ridden North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida, everywhere in Georgia, and it has not let me down. It had one minor hiccup. Uh-oh. These damn scammers! That would be awesome to take. Nah, I won't take it while on the phone. Yeah. No, thank you. One day I will take the call while recording, and that'll be hilarious, but not today. Anyway, so I think somewhere in like 2015 or 16, my bike dropped I think it dropped a piston, something complicated like that. And the good people at Mountain Motorsports at the time helped me get my engine replaced using my Kawasaki warranty. Thank you, Josh Trainer and crew. So that effectively gave this bike, you know, another few more years of life. And at that point, I was probably at 28,000 miles or so, I think. And now I'm at, what is that? Is that a 9? No, it's 44. I'm at 44,000 miles on, you know, so I'm on the second engine, and it still runs like a champ. I mean, you can throw anything at this bike. Huge group rides, chillin' solo days. You can even do a bit of off-roading. But the one biggest problem I have with it is I'm constantly having to shift gears when I'm going up the mountain, when I do my little blood runs. And that's okay. It certainly makes me feel like I get a lot out of my bike. But man, I have so many friends with larger CC bikes, you know, 600s, mid-range, adventure bikes, super sports, sport touring, and I have ridden, I want to say, probably 80% of my friends' bikes at some point rather than another within the past 5 years. And, you know, it makes for a real muddled collection of what do you really want. And the one thing I always come down to is I want to be able to go up the mountain in one gear and just enjoy all that there is, to the mountain. And I feel like I have to do so much to get this bike to perform at, its peak, to get up the mountain and keep up with, all the other leader bikes and 600s and stuff. And, some of them, they're still blowing me away in the straightaways, but I have a good time. But it is now finally that time. It is now finally time that we say, take a small nap, 300. We're gonna go find you a big brother, and we're gonna give it a little go. I have, over the past month, I have been going over different style bikes, street fighters, super sports, upright, sport touring, and it's all just confusion in my head at the moment. But the one thing that I feel like I keep coming back to in all these different options that I've been looking up is this Ninja. Kawasaki makes a tremendous motorcycle throughout all their different ranges. And it's familiar, it's extremely enjoyable, and if you take care of them, they'll last you forever. They're I have a good friend who, his 6R, my lord, he drove that thing all over the Southeast and just put thousands and thousands of miles on it, and it, right up till the end, it was an amazing machine. And then he moved on to Street Fighter and left the Cowie brothers behind for a Honda. Misguided as he may be, his bike is an amazing machine, and I got to ride it just recently. And although the Street Fighter is a tremendously torquey beast, I felt it just a little too twitchy for me. So that kind of, X'd out the Z800 that I was looking at. So that put that away. Now, on the other side of that, I rode a extremely fun to ride Street Triple. Street Triple. And, that was an awesome experience. And that had me on Triumph's website and viewing videos for weeks about that bike. Ultimately, I think it's just a little too much money that I want to spend right now. So, someone had mentioned that their roommate was selling a 2007 Ninja, and I should come take a look at it. Well, that's what we're doing today. We're going to go take a peek at this bike. And the one special thing about it is that it's red. And we all know how much I love red. The Ninja 6R is a dream bike for any motorcyclist. It is a beautiful, beautiful piece of work. It was ahead of its time, in my opinion. And, the new ones are beautiful. But I can't tell you how many times I've seen brand new 6Rs sitting in ditches on the top of the mountain or on their way to the top of the mountain. And I've helped pull several out of those ditches. And that really put me off of the 636 for the longest time. And so maybe going backwards to a old school version of it is the right answer. But at the moment, what I need is power. I need more power than I have. So this should be interesting. Maybe we'll get lucky and he'll let us go on a little test ride. I know he recently bought a FZ09, I believe. So maybe he'll come with us and we can check it out, see what it's like. This light is lasting forever. I've been sitting here for the entire, this is so long. What in the world is going on right now? I feel like I've been talking for 20 minutes. Oh, we got a green light. Are we going to make it? Probably not. We could just go up there and skip through everybody. Come on, people. It ain't that hard. You can do it. I'll probably run that red light if it changes. Let's see. Yay, we made it. How much further do we got to go? What do you mean 2.2 miles is going to take 9 minutes? In what world? Okay. Traffic may be worse than I thought. Can I, skip past all these morons? Can I do it? Can I do it? Can I be a bad boy? Can I say a bad word? Can I say a bad word? Yeah, we're just cheating. So much cheating. You see all this cheating happening right now? It's fucking sexy. That's awful. So many people probably pissed at me right now. That's okay. I'm used to that feeling. I tend to do that where my opinions can be rather controversial. People get used to me eventually. I'm an asshole at heart. People understand. I put off motovlogging for years. I mean, the guy with the perfect name for motovlogging never makes a motovlog. There's a nice irony in that somewhere. I guess I didn't motovlog for years because I think I just felt I didn't have anything proper to say. Or anything of value to say. When I first got into the motorcycles and, I instantly jumped into the motovlogging stuff, I'll admit, I was in to chase on two wheels. All the content he was making at the time was, again, ahead of its time. And, it just galvanized me to get out, get a bike, and grab a camera and make it happen. And somewhere along the ways, I determined I didn't have that much to say. I probably still don't have that much to say, but I'm going to let some of my opinions fly anyway. Just because it's time, and if I don't, Jack Hammer will never let me hear the end of it. Never. He will never let me hear the end of it. He has been on my ass for years to start making a motovlog. I like making music videos. I like the cutting process and the different angles and whatnot. And, did I take a 2-year sabbatical? Sure. That's just the way it goes sometimes. I had to take a little break for a while. And, but, with him constantly chiding me and several other of our friends like, hey man, when are you going to put out some footage? Or, just because I took a break doesn't mean that I stopped recording. I've got so much footage over the years, so I've got a lot to work with if I really want to sit down and do it. But ultimately, I'm lazy, so I'm really excited to go try out this bike. It's gonna be fun. I hope that he will let me take it on a little test spin. We didn't talk about that. All we talked about was I was going to come over and take a peek at it. I hope he trusts me. He knows me from a friend. We're in the same community together. I hope I'm a trustworthy person. But I've got to cut the video here because I'm going to a friend's house who probably really won't appreciate me putting their address on blast. So I will be back shortly. We'll see where this goes. really have too much to say while I was riding. I think I was just kind of awestruck by the the aggressive seating style. Like, I didn't have my front camera with me, but like I was like, like, it was pretty crazy. Now that I'm like getting my wits back together about it all, I can form some opinions maybe. It's definitely not. It's not comfortable. It's got power. I'm gonna say this. It's got old power. The cam chain tensioner, definitely probably needs to be worked on. The small issue that I had with the stalling was just the throttle needed to be turned up a little bit. Not throttle, but the idle needed to be turned up just a little. I mean, other than that, it's just a solid bike. The problem is it feels like an old bike, and I'm gonna have to ruminate on it. I don't know. I really like the upright life, and I think riding Ben's Ninja 1000 really ruined me yesterday. I'm gonna go up to the mountain with him, I think, this weekend, and I'll record a little bit of riding that, and it's such a sweet ride. But 12 grand, man, damn. I don't know. Maybe I should just wait a little longer, bide my time, put my money together. I could say yes on the Ninja right now, and probably be happy, but I don't know. Maybe just after all this time of upright riding, this just may be my style. I don't know. I'm a bigger guy, so it might not work so well. I mean that position was very awkward to me. It was very foreign feeling. But, of course it is. You've been riding a Ninja 300 for 5 years. Give me a break. But, yeah, so we'll have to see. I don't know. I'm on the fence. I had such a good time when I rode that Triumph. And I had such a good time when I rode Ben's Ninja 1000. And both those bikes had just power for days. Power for days. And the Ninja 6R is just, like I said, it feels like old power. Such a shame. I wish I had just hopped on it and been like, oh my God, I'm in love. But it wasn't the case. I don't know, maybe that's just the feeling you get from when you go from riding in 2014 back to, a bike that's 7 years older than that. Even with the power difference, things are just different. I bet if I rode a 2017 636, the motherfucker would be fire. The history of the 6R must be respected. It's a tremendous bike, but the phrase that comes to mind when I'm thinking about the experience I just had is just old power. And unfortunately, that's leading me probably to saying no to the deal. So, the motorcycle search continues. Hopefully this weekend we'll get to try out the Ninja 1000 again up in the mountains. We'll get a real feel for the big granddaddy Ninja, and we'll see how that goes. But until then, ride safe, YouTube.